graders, it's Mrs. Thompson. We're going to do 5.2 example 3. We're going to apply all this knowledge we've learned about substitution, and we're going to apply it to a specific situation. So here's our situation. One high-speed internet provider has a $50 setup fee and costs $30 per month. Another provider has no setup fee and costs $40 per month. And so as you can see in letter A, they're asking us in how many months will both providers cost the same and what will that cost be? Now, I'm pretty sure you're not interested in graphing this. These are fairly large numbers and could end up being even larger on a graph. And doing rise over run with a huge slope like that would be hard to graph, I think. So what my recommendation is, let's create two equations. They appear to both be in slope-intercept form. Let's start with that first high-speed internet provider, $50 setup fee. That's a one-time fee. So we're going to put that as our one-time fee and has a monthly charge. So that means that that amount is going to change, okay? $30 per month. So right away we see we have slope-intercept form. Now let's look at the second provider. The second provider, it doesn't have a setup fee. So you can write 0, you don't have to, but what we need to focus on is that cost of $40 per month, okay? So no setup fee, but it costs a little bit more per month. So they're both in slope-intercept form. Remember what we learned from example 1. If this quantity equals y, and this quantity also equals y, then what's true about these quantities is they must be equal to each other. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to set them equal to each other. We're going to say 50 plus 30x equals 40x. And then we're going to solve for x. So we're going to take away 30x. There it goes. Say bye-bye. And then we got 50 equals 10x divided by 10. So now we know half of our point. We know the x is 5. Now remember what the x is. The x stands for number of months. Okay, we're having this cable service, internet service. So this is how many months we have this service. Okay, the y is going to be total cost. How much money we pay after it's all said and done, including our setup fee and our monthly cost. So we need to figure out what that is. So pick one of these equations. I like this one. Yes, I do. Doesn't have a lot to it, and it looks like it's easy to plug into. So 40 times 5 looks like 200. So y is 200. So our point of intersection is 5, 200, not to be confused with 5,200. This is 5, 200. And what this says to me is that in 5 months, both providers will cost $200. So that may be something you want to write in words. Say after 5 months, both bills are $500, or excuse me, $200. Okay, and that answers that question. Letter B says, if you plan to cancel in a year, which is the cheaper provider? Well, the easiest thing to do is take each provider and plug in, remember x is number of months. You can't just plug in a 1 right here. Instead of, that stands for 1 year. We need number of months in a year. That would be 12. So you want to plug in a 12 right there. Okay? So y equals 50 plus, looks like 360. And then 360 and 50, I think, is 410. So if I had that first service that had the $50 setup fee, $30 a month, it's going to cost me $410 after a year. So let's look at the second one. All right, so remember, I'm not plugging in 1 for x. That's number of months is x. So I need to plug in 12 because there's 12 months in a year. And 40 times 12 is $480. So look at your final bottom line cost. Which one's the better deal? And I would say option 1, the one that costs after 12 months, $410. That's your better deal after a year. Okay? So if we flip to the next page, there's one similar to that. I'm going to make this an extra credit problem. So if you come in tomorrow with this done, showing me the answer. I want to see both equations. So I need to see the equations and of course the work where you substituted and showed me how you found your answer. And then I need you to answer both questions. So your final answer for both. Okay? Now letter B, you need the equation from letter A so you can plug in 6 months for each of them. Okay? So good luck with that, and I will check in with you tomorrow. Thanks for listening.